He was imprisoned for 445 days in the African nation of Sudan for his Christian activities. Czech national Petr Jasek is joining us today. In February, he was released after more than 14 months in prison. Peter, it is great to have you here. I know that a lot of people that watch this program and Voice of the Martyrs and around the world were praying for you. Did you feel those prayers?
Absolutely. I was also later on informed by my family through the letters that they were able to send later on that many of Christians from all over the world were praying for me, sending encouragement letters or emails to my family and also to myself. When I was in prison, I was receiving some of the letters through my family, which was a great encouragement for me.
Now, you worked with Voice of the Martyrs for many years, speaking for persecuted Christians and, doing many interviews, as I have. We've traveled together. You weren't expecting yourself to be in that situation. So tell me what happened. You went to Sudan to help out a Christian brother.
I went actually only for a 4 days trip, very short trip because of my busy travel schedule. Basically, I want to document the persecution that I heard about at the conference in Ethiopia, and just to see how VOM could help the persecuted Christians, individuals as well as churches.
You found out later that you were being followed. They had cameras even that could shoot into the nighttime. They were tracking your activities. So tell me what happened when you were arrested.
I thought that when they asked me to follow them right after I received my boarding passes for my 3 flights back home through Nairobi and Amsterdam to Prague, that this is just a normal check before leaving the country, something like I have experienced before in many other countries, and I didn't pay enough attention to that until they really started to show me the photos, and then I realized it's really serious because they had photos even from our night meetings in Sudan.
So you're arrested, and then what happened? Were you immediately put into prison, or what was the situation?
They held me for several minutes at the airport hall where they were going through my stuff, my computer bag, my camera, my phone, my external hard drives that I had with me. They were just going through this and asking questions. The problem was that they did not speak proper English. I tried speaking to them in French, in German, Russian, because I know that the Sudanese are working closely with Russia, but they were not able to communicate. That was a major problem until their boss came who spoke better English.
Did you know at that point you were in big trouble?
I think that the most difficult moment when I realized that I'm in a great trouble was when they discovered my second passport. I travel always with 2 passports because, when you travel to Africa, you know it probably better than you can get robbed by different people. So I always had my second passport hidden on my body somewhere with some money just in case I will get robbed. So when they discovered my second passport, that was the last drop for them, that they were absolutely convinced that I am the spy.
So you were charged eventually with espionage, treason. It looked like it was going to be a death sentence because in the Sudanese law that's the case. It was then put to a life sentence. Was there any time that you thought that you would have to fulfill that sentence? Because as a Czech national, you knew that at least the government is behind you. We had a situation with Pastor Lim here from Canada in North Korea. So there's some confidence, I guess, that maybe you would be able to get out.
I was always kind of confident that I would not get the death penalty, even though when you hear that you are accused for some paragraphs and then you hear the death penalty for for 2 of them, there was a moment when I started to think that's real danger, right? But when they sentenced me for life, at that time I was in touch already with the Czech embassy, and they informed me about the diplomatic solution that is being prepared. So in one sense, I have prepared my family for that. I told them that because of the way how they were portraying us in the local pro-government newspapers, that I would expect something like 15 to 20 years in prison. And I prepared my family for that they should not get discouraged by hearing something like 15, 20 years in prison, because I knew that there was some negotiations going on already.
Okay, and we come back, we're going to talk about you going to prison, what you face there, and what you learn. And I know that somebody has traveled a lot with the Voice of the Martyrs as well. We prepare, but when it actually happens, it's a totally different thing. Anyway, we'll be back with Petr Jasek right after this.